Have you ever encountered a question that seemed completely normal on the surface? Yet something deep within warned you that danger lurked beneath those innocent words. The person asking wore a friendly expression and spoke in soft tones. But the instant you provided an answer, you understood you had been pulled into a battle where victory was impossible from the start. This represents the craftsman's skill of those who deceive. These individuals don't limit their lies to simple statements. They weaponize their inquiries. When you fail to recognize the mask they wear, you find yourself caught in self-doubt, offering apologies for wrongs you never committed, and eventually turning your energy against yourself rather than confronting the real problem. The wisdom of ancient Rome understood this manipulation perfectly. Great thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius left us warnings about these tactics. Those who deceive seldom launch direct attacks. Instead, they scatter small fragments of uncertainty into your thoughts, then sit back while you tear yourself apart from within. 20 centuries have passed, yet these methods remain unchanged. The only difference is how much more refined they become. In this presentation, we examine the 5 most harmful questions that deceivers use to gain power over their targets. Even more valuable, demonstrate the responses that Stoic philosophers would recommend, answers delivered with composure, precision, and unbreakable confidence. When we reach the conclusion, you possess the knowledge needed to guarantee that no one will ever use you as their puppet again. Before we start, if you've ever felt manipulated but couldn't figure out how, comment me below. And if you want to learn ancient wisdom that protects you from modern manipulation, hit that subscribe button right now. The first deceptive question: why are you being so sensitive? On the surface, this inquiry appears completely harmless, perhaps even caring. Don't let this fool you. This represents the opening shot fired by someone engaged in psychological manipulation, because buried within those words lies something far from genuine curiosity. What you're actually hearing is a direct attack. Their real message translates to, you lack strength. You creating problems in your head. The fault doesn't lie with me. It rests entirely with you. Take a moment to reflect. Can you recall being in a personal relationship where the second you identified something problematic, your concerns got dismissed with laughter? Oh, you were just being too sensitive. Perhaps in your workplace, you raised questions about whether certain decisions were ethical. The response came back, Don, to make this bigger than it is. This is simply how business works. That wasn't genuine concern speaking. That was a calculated attack. Their goal involves stripping away your most powerful protection, your ability to notice what's really happening. They want to take your sensitivity, which actually functions as your internal alarm system for detecting threats, and transform it into something you see as a personal flaw. Seneca once observed, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Those who manipulate others understand this principle completely. They place seeds of uncertainty inside your thoughts until you begin questioning your own perceptions. Eventually, you start accepting that you are the source of the problem. But here is what is actually true. Sensitivity doesn't equal weakness. Sensitivity equals awareness. The individual who experiences emotions deeply often notices the small cracks in the foundation long before others see any signs of trouble. Consider the financial analyst who discovers tiny discrepancies in the company records. Others mock this person as paranoid, but later this analyst exposes a fraud worth millions of dollars. Think about the wife who detects a subtle shift in how her husband behaves. People dismiss her as overreacting, but months later she uncovers his betrayal. In both situations, sensitivity wasn't a burden. It served as an early detection system. How would a Stoic philosopher handle this situation? Marcus Aurelius once stated, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change, for it is truth that I seek, not victory." A person who genuinely cares about you will never try to shame you for being aware. Only individuals with something to hide feel threatened by your ability to perceive clearly. So the next time someone delivers the line, "Why are you being so sensitive?" don't react with anger. Don't waste energy defending yourself. Instead, look directly at them and respond with complete calm. "I am not being sensitive. I am being observant. Does that make you uncomfortable?" That single statement will be enough. You will witness their carefully constructed facade beginning to crumble. The second deceptive question: you trust me, right? These words sound so warm and innocent, but underneath that gentle surface, this isn't really a question at all. It is a carefully designed trap. The reason is simple. Anyone who demands your trust instead of working to earn it has already shown you exactly who they are. Consider this carefully. A person worthy of trust doesn't need to ask you to have faith in them. Their behavior does all the talking. Day after day, through consistent actions, they build that trust naturally. But when someone stares you in the eye and insists, "You trust me, right?" their real message is this: stop thinking. Stop questioning. Just give me complete control over your judgment. Epictetus taught us, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Those who deceive understand this truth perfectly. They use that question to silence your natural curiosity, to make you feel bad about being careful, to convince you that asking for evidence makes you a disloyal person. But being careful isn't the same as betrayal. Being careful is wisdom in action. Picture the business partner who refuses to let you see the financial records, but leans forward and says, "Trust me." Think about the romantic partner who keeps their phone hidden from view, yet constantly repeats the phrase, "Don, do you trust me?" These people aren't working to build genuine trust. Instead, they re-insisting you accept things without question. Accepting things without question creates the perfect environment where betrayal can grow and flourish. What approach would a Stoic philosopher take? They wouldn't respond with fear or feel the need to defend themselves. Instead, they would maintain calm distance from the emotional manipulation. This represents what the Stoics called apatheia, the practice of preventing emotions from taking over your ability to think clearly. When someone confronts you with the words, "You trust me, right?" take a moment to pause. Take a deep breath, then provide this response. Trust gets built through consistent behavior over time. Are you asking me to ignore what my judgment tells me? This single response completely changes the entire situation. The focus shifts away from you and lands squarely on them, where it belongs. Someone who lies will fumble their words, try to change what you talking about, or attack you with anger. But a person with genuine integrity, they feel insulted or threatened. They allow continue demonstrating through their daily actions that they deserve your trust. Keep this in mind. Trust isn't something you give away because someone pressures you to do it. Trust is like a strong fortress that gets constructed one stone at a time, through years of honesty, truth, and reliable behavior. The Stoic always remembers this important principle. Giving away that fortress too quickly means you giving up your inner peace and safety. The third deceptive question: are you accusing me of something? This particular question shows real cleverness in its design. On the surface, it appears to be a straightforward inquiry, but in reality, it functions as a protective barrier. It is a method for completely reversing the situation and putting you on trial instead of them. Here's the way this manipulation works. You bring up something that concerns you. You notice that certain facts don't make sense when you put them together. You ask a legitimate question about what is happening. Then suddenly, instead of receiving the answers you deserve, you face a sharp attack that comes back at you. Wait a minute. Are you accusing me of something? Now, before you even realize what happened, your role has completely changed. You're no longer the person making observations about suspicious behavior. You've become the bad guy in the story. The attention moves away from their questionable actions and focuses intensely on you instead. This strategy pushes you into a defensive position where you feel like you have to protect yourself. You hurry to explain what you really meant. You take back what you said. You end up saying things like, no, that's not what I meant at all. In that exact moment, you've given up all your power in the situation. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence." However, silence in Stoic philosophy doesn't mean you giving up or surrendering. It means you refuse to participate in a game where someone else gets to make all the rules. Think about how a courtroom operates. If the person who committed the crime can somehow make the judge start apologizing, then the entire trial falls apart and becomes meaningless. That's precisely what this question aims to accomplish. So what's the right way to respond to this manipulation? You respond with calmness. You respond with self-control and composure. The next time someone snaps at you with, "Are you accusing me of something?" don't rush to fill the quiet space with explanations. Stay firm in your position. Look directly into their eyes. Wait for a moment. Count to 2, maybe count to 3. Then speak in a calm voice and say, Should I be? Those are just 3 simple words, but these 3 words send all the pressure right back to where it should be, on them. They cut through the fake act they re-putting on. The reason this works is because people who lie expect you to panic. They never expect you to remain strong and powerful. Let me give you some real-world examples of how this plays out. A boss gets confronted about money that is missing from company accounts. Their response, "Are you accusing me of stealing?" A romantic partner gets questioned about all the secrecy in their behavior. Their response, "Are you accusing me of cheating?" In both of these situations, the goal remains exactly the same. They want to transform your honest search for the truth into an attack that you must defend yourself against. But the Stoic refuses to take the bait. A Stoic understands that truth doesn't panic when it gets examined. Wisdom doesn't apologize for making careful observations about what is really happening. Remember this important lesson. The person who asks, "Are you accusing me?" is often revealing much more about themselves than they realize. The 4th deceptive question, "Would I ever lie to you?" This question represents poison that has been wrapped up in soft, beautiful fabric. It sounds gentle and caring, almost like you hurt their feelings simply by having any doubts about them. But here is what you should ask yourself. Why would anyone need to ask this kind of question? Unless they already suspected you were getting close to discovering the truth about something. Would I ever lie to you? I isn't really asking you anything at all. It is a performance. It is an act designed to make them look like a noble, honest person while making you appear cruel and heartless for even imagining they might be dishonest. This isn't about honesty or truthfulness. It is about making you feel guilty. Because if they can succeed in making you feel bad about having doubts, you will stop asking questions. You will ignore what your instincts are telling you. And you will give them exactly what they're looking for. Your trust without any proof. But the Stoic philosophers remind us of this truth. Real honesty is never offended when someone examines it carefully. Seneca wrote these words, "If it is not true, do not say it. If it is not right, do not do it." A person with genuine integrity doesn't need to convince you that they are incapable of lying. They allow their actions to do the talking, day after day after day, without making a big show of it. Think about how this appears in real-life situations. The romantic partner who hides all their text messages but then says, "Would I ever lie to you?" The coworker who avoids taking responsibility for their mistakes but insists, "Come on. Would I really lie?" The more they beg you to believe in their innocence, the more you should wonder what they are hiding underneath their words. So how would a Stoic handle this situation? They wouldn't take the bait. They wouldn't scramble around trying to make the other person feel better. Instead, they would respond with calm and clear thinking. The next time someone asks you, "Would I ever lie to you?" take a pause. Let the quiet moment do its work. Then give this reply, that this is not the question I need answered. The question is, would I know if you did? In that single instant, you shift all the power back to where it belongs. The reason this works is because people who lie need confusion and uncertainty to survive. They want you to be blinded by doubt and second-guessing yourself. But your response turns on a bright spotlight that illuminates everything. And once that light is shining, the dark shadows can no longer provide them with places to hide. Keep this fundamental truth in your mind. People who are genuinely honest don't become afraid when you ask them questions. Only those who are lying feel threatened by your inquiries. So never mistake someone putting on a show of innocence for the actual reality of truthfulness. The 5th deceptive question. Do we just move on? This represents the final weapon in the deceiver's arsenal. It's their last desperate attempt when everything else has failed them. When their denials stop working and when their attempts to distract you fall flat, they resort to wearing you down through exhaustion. Did we just move on? When you first hear these words, they seem to offer something positive, like peace and resolution. But when you look beneath the surface, you discover something entirely different. This isn't about finding real solutions to problems. This is about running away from responsibility. What they are actually communicating is this: I refuse to be held accountable for my actions. I don't want to deal with the truth. I just need you to become too tired to keep searching for answers. This is exactly how many lies manage to survive and continue causing damage. Not because the person lying is smarter than the truth itself, but because the person seeking truth eventually becomes worn out and decides to quit looking. The Stoic philosophers understood this manipulation strategy very well. Marcus Aurelius wrote these powerful words: "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Notice something important about his statement. He never added, "unless it is inconvenient," or "unless it makes things uncomfortable." For the true Stoic, truth doesn't to have an expiration date. Truth doesn't to become less important just because someone wishes they could move past it. Consider how this plays out in real situations around us. A company gets caught in a major scandal. The executives plead with their employees. Let us not dwell on what happened in the past. Let us focus on building our future together. A married person gets exposed for betraying their spouse. They say, "Why do we keep talking about this? Let us move forward and put this behind us." But in both examples, the request isn't really about healing or making things better. It is about creating silence. It's about burying something that is still causing damage underneath the surface. So what approach does the Stoic take in response? They don't respond with anger or fury. They don't get pulled into endless arguments that go nowhere. Instead, they respond with steady determination and resolve. When someone asks you, "Can we just move on?" you take a breath and respond with complete calm. "I'll move on when I understand what happened." Not before. That single sentence keeps you firmly planted in truth. It communicates to the liar that you cannot be rushed or pressured. It shows them that your peace comes from having clarity, not from being too tired to care anymore. People who lie absolutely hate this type of response. The reason is that they depend on your exhaustion to succeed. But when you refuse to give up, when you stand calmly in your commitment to finding truth, their entire game plan collapses. Always remember this. Moving on isn't about how fast you can forget something. Moving on is about honesty and understanding. Only when the truth gets fully faced and dealt with can genuine peace actually begin. Can you think of a sixth manipulative question? Drop it in the comments and let us analyze it together. Stoic methods for avoiding manipulation. People who deceive others succeed by targeting your emotions. They need to worry about facts or logical reasoning. They only need to make you lose your emotional balance. They make you feel bad about yourself for asking legitimate questions. They'll try to shame you by calling you too sensitive when you notice that things don't add up correctly. And when making you feel guilty and ashamed doesn't work, they'll try to exhaust you until you're too tired to keep looking for the truth. This represents the battlefield where manipulators prefer to fight, not in the realm of truth or logical reasoning, but in the world of emotions. This is precisely where Stoicism provides you with powerful protection. Epictetus taught this fundamental principle. Some things are in our control, others are not. This single understanding forms the foundation of true freedom. When you clearly know what belongs to you and what doesn't belong to you, no one can make you a slave to their manipulation tactics. So when they try to make you feel guilty about something, remember this. Their emotions and feelings are not your responsibility to manage. When they accuse you of being too sensitive, remember this. Being aware of what is happening around you is a strength, not a weakness. And when they try to wear you down and exhaust you, remember this. Time itself doesn't take sides. Truth doesn't operate on anyone's deadline. The Stoic doesn't allow the liar to control the speed or timing of their response. Instead, they observe what is happening. They take time to breathe and think. They choose their response with careful precision, like holding a sharp sword of reason steady while chaos swirls all around them. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a powerful storm. The wind screams and howls around you. Rain hits you hard from every direction. Thunder crashes and roars overhead. But inside your mind and heart, you remain completely unmoved and stable. That is the mental state that Stoicism teaches you to achieve. You stay calm when everyone else loses control. You see clearly when others become blinded by confusion. Here is the secret that manipulators never expect to encounter. Their most powerful weapon only works if you give them your emotional reaction. Take that reaction away from them, and their weapon breaks apart in their hands like cheap glass. The Stoic understands these truths. Silence can become a source of strength. Careful observation can become a form of power. Emotional detachment can become a path to liberation. So the next time someone tries to twist your perception of reality, don't rush to respond. Don't panic about what is happening. Simply ask yourself this question. Is this something within my control? Or is this outside of my control? With that single question, you take back your freedom. You become calm. You become clear in your thinking. You become unshakable. That is exactly how Stoic thinking breaks every chain that manipulation tries to wrap around you. You now possess knowledge about the 5 dangerous questions that liars use to manipulate and control people. Each question represents a calculated move on a chessboard. Each one is a carefully designed trap. But you are no longer just a piece that gets moved around by someone else. You've become the person controlling the game. The Stoic doesn't need to raise their voice or shout. They don't need to explode with rage or anger. They simply remain steady, look directly at the truth of what is happening, and allow the liar to expose themselves through their own actions. Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius all understood the same reality that applies today. The person who sees clearly becomes dangerous to those who deceive, not because they use violence, but because they cannot be controlled or manipulated. So always remember these important truths. You are not being cruel when you have standards and expectations. You are not being harsh when you search for truth. You are not showing weakness when you notice deception and lies. You are simply awake and aware. And in a world full of shadows and deception, those who are awake become feared by those who operate in darkness. Make the choice for clarity over confusion. Choose logical reasoning over emotional manipulation. Walk through life as a Stoic warrior, calm in your approach, observant in your awareness, and unshakable in your principles. Ready to never be manipulated again. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Your future self will thank you.